Hello and welcome back to Charge Electric. Now yesterday I was lucky enough to be offered a car for the day by Yeomans Citroen in Torquay, and hopefully you would have seen that review on the car. But Yeoman said I could have the car for an extra day. So today I've decided to do a real world range test on the car. The route that I have planned is about a 140 mile round trip. So I'm hoping the car will do at least 140 miles, but it is rather cold today. It's only 4 degrees outside and it's a little bit windy as well. Now I charged the car to 100% last night, and it's currently showing me a predicted range of 206 miles. So that 140 mile round trip should be no problem at all, but it will be interesting to see how much the cold affects the car. Now the whole point of this test is real world, so I'll be driving the car in normal mode. I will not be using eco, and I will have the climate control set to 19 degrees as well, so I'm nice and comfortable in the car. It is a little bit chilly, so we'll see how we get on. Now before anyone says anything, this is work, so this test is work for me, and I can guarantee you I will not be coming into contact with another human being, so just in case you're concerned. Right, so let's see how we get on. Right, so the first checkpoint of my little trip today, I'm just on the outskirts of Exeter, so I've just gone from Torquay to Exeter, and I am currently showing 192 miles remaining. So I've lost 14 miles of range, but I've driven forward 18 miles, so I've regenerated a little bit. Now the consumption is currently 3.7 miles per kilowatt. Now I'm hoping that will improve a little bit, but when I set off, as I mentioned, it was 4 degrees, so the heater was working quite hard for the first few minutes just to bring the temperature of the cabin up, but once it got up to temperature, the climate controller backed off. I can barely hear it running in the background now, so hopefully that consumption will start to improve. But yeah, still got over 190 miles of range. I'm really comfortable, so all is good. Okay, I'm currently on the A30, just coming out of Exeter towards Honiton, but I thought I'd just report on this. I mean, yesterday when I did my review on this car, I mentioned just how quiet and how comfortable the car is. Now on this stretch of A30, the road surface goes from tarmac to like concrete, and if anyone knows, concrete is a lot noisier than tarmac, and this is the first time I can actually hear any tyre noise. See if you can hear it. But having said that, for a concrete surface, it's not that noisy. I mean, normally when you go from tarmac to concrete, it's a very noticeable difference, and it's quite loud, but this isn't too bad. Not bad at all. Okay, I've just come off the A30 and I'm now on the A35 heading towards Dorchester. Now after that stretch of 70 mile an hour between Exeter and Honiton, my range has, well, it's disappeared. I am now showing 114 miles range left. And I've still got about 103 miles left to do on my journey. So what started out with me thinking 140 miles, yeah, that should be absolutely easy, I'm now starting to think, oh, it could be close. It could be quite tight. Hoping it will do at least 140 miles. But my consumption so far, I mean, I have just come up quite a steep hill, but my consumption is now down to 3 miles per kilowatt. And I have driven forward 40 miles. So I will keep you posted. But anyway, now we're off the 70 mile an hour road and we're on more twisty A and B roads. Hopefully the consumption will start to creep up again and it won't be too bad. Okay, I've reached the halfway point. So I've just started my return journey. I have 72 miles to get back home and the range is showing 67 miles. and the battery indicator is dead on 50% at the moment, so it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that 144 mile round trip on a single charge. I'm going to have to bail out somewhere and put a bit of juice in. So a bit disappointing really. I was in my head this morning, I thought 170 miles should be doable. Certainly this time of year with the temperature, I thought 170 miles, that should be okay, but it's looking like 140 miles. Yeah, a bit disappointed, but I'll see how I get on the way back, and if I have to bail out and charge, I will let you know. Right, so situation at the moment, I am currently 47 miles away from getting home, and the range is currently showing that I have 39 miles left. So judging by that, I'm not going to make it. Although having said that, the battery indicator is saying that I've got about a third of a charge left. So if you go by the charge indicator on the battery, it suggests I'd make it, but the actual readout is suggesting that I'm going to fall short. So what I'm going to do to be on the safe side, I am going to bail out at Exeter Services, because I'm only about 27 miles away from Exeter Services, so I should make that absolutely fine. And I'm going to have to give it a bit of a boost there just so I can get the rest of the way home. So I'll see you in Exeter. So here I am at Exeter Services on the M5. So I had to bail out. When I arrived at the services and plugged into the charger, the car was down to 19% and showing me 21 miles of range. And ironically, I'm 21 miles away from home, so that was cutting it a bit too fine. So I thought I'd bail out and charge to be on the safe side. I don't like pushing it too much. I can't risk running out of charge. But I plugged into the Ecotricity charger on the M5. And all is good. It started charging within, well, probably less than 1 minute of me pulling up and plugging in. So Ecotricity is working well today. So what happened on this range test of the Citroen e-C4? Now when I left home this morning, the car had 100% charge in the battery and was showing 206 mile range. And I'd planned a route that was going to be about 144 mile round trip. So it should have been nice and easy, even this time of year. And the temperature this morning was 4 degrees. It's gone up to 6 degrees as I've gone through the morning. But even so, I wasn't expecting to get 200 miles. I was expecting about 170 miles. Based on my experience of EVs in the past, with this size battery, I was banking on 170 miles. Little bit disappointed to be honest with the range of the car and the efficiency. So I did 123 miles before I had to bail out and find a charger. I averaged 3.5 miles per kilowatt. Now the route that I chose to take took into consideration a bit of town driving. There was 70 mile an hour dual carriageway sections, twisty A and B roads. So I wanted to take in quite a few different types of road, and my average speed over those 123 miles was only 40 miles an hour. So 40 mile an hour average speed and 3.5 miles per kilowatt. Just a little bit disappointed with that. I can't help feeling that if I'd done the same journey in the smaller battery 38 kilowatt Ioniq, I think it would have done it. Even in this temperature, I think it would have done it, because that car probably would have been up well towards, maybe even above 5 miles per kilowatt. And a couple of years ago I took the 38 kilowatt Ioniq to Bristol and back. That was a round trip of 198 miles, and it did it without me having to plug in and charge it, and it still had about 18 miles range left by the time I got home. I know when I did that journey, it was late summer, the temperature was pretty much perfect for an EV, so the efficiency was very, very good. But the weather's good today. I know it's a bit chilly. The heater hasn't actually been working that hard. It worked hard initially just to bring the cabin temperature up, but after that I've barely heard the fan. It's maintained the temperature inside the car quite nicely. So yeah, just a little bit disappointing on the old efficiency front. But reflecting on the car itself, if you are after a really, really comfortable, well-appointed, family-size electric car, you won't find anything more comfortable than this one. It's got good room in the back. The boot's an okay size as well. It should do you fine as long as you're not expecting it to go hundreds and hundreds of miles on a single charge. You should be absolutely fine. So if your main driving is pootling around town, taking the children to school, or a commuting car, you should absolutely love this car. It is very, very good. But there we are. There's my range test and consumption test. I tried to do it as real as possible. I had the climate control running at 19 degrees. I stuck to the speed limit, so I wasn't driving slow on purpose or anything like that. And I drove it in normal mode all the time. I didn't go anywhere near eco. So there we are. I'd like to know what you think. If anyone watching this has driven one of these cars or owns one, I'd like to know what sort of range and efficiency you're getting out of the car as well. But as always, please like, subscribe and share it around, and I'll see you on the next one.